What's up, everybody? Today I want to talk about something very exciting called Arcane Docker Management. Now, in terms of Docker management, we have a few ways to do things on TrueNAS as it stands right now. So when we go to over to our apps right now, TrueNAS has this interface that already exists for apps. So we have the ability to go discover apps, and then they have this little thing so I can just, for example, go through and install like this, or I can go ahead and do a custom app over here through install via YAML or the custom app screen, which I actually personally hate. We have Portainer, we have Dockge. There's a few options we have. This is another option that's very much like a hybrid between Dockge and Portainer. So I'm going to show you, this is their GitHub right here. I'm going to have this linked in the video description. This is kind of a quick screenshot of the UI. This is a very pretty dashboard. I'm kind of impressed. So let's launch this today and actually practice working with it and see how it integrates with our current environment. The first thing I'm going to do is I came over here to my apps page and I already have Arcane running. You can see here I just used the discover apps and then I did the triple dot install via YAML. This is how I installed Arcane here running on TrueNAS. So you can see here it's got the little TrueNAS core icon for TrueNAS Community Edition, and it's running. So I'm going to show you what my file looks like right here. This is the Docker Compose for it. The Docker Compose exists on the wiki now. So when you go to the wiki and you scroll all the way to the bottom to the containerization section, you'll see at the very bottom is Arcane, and over here we have an installation, and this is the Docker Compose. And I'm going to run you through just a couple things about this Docker Compose that you might want to know before you go ahead and just run it. The only three things you may need to adjust. One thing, make sure you have port 3000 open. Some people don't, so you can just change the one on the left to whatever you want to make it run if you have a port conflict. The second line in volumes, mount take configs Arcane. I will show you in my TrueNAS over here. In my data sets, I have configs Arcane, and I gave it just apps. So this is created just using the apps preset. And the Docker Compose is already set to run as 568, so you don't have to worry about that. The other thing I did was I passed through my stacks directory. So over again in TrueNAS, I have, if I collapse this, a directory that I already used for Dockge for stacks. And if you already are using Dockge, you probably already have a stacks directory. So we're going to want to pass that into the Arcane container. And the reason is Arcane, unlike many other, in fact, any other containerization management system I've seen, can actually interact with stacks created by other containerization UIs like Dockge or Portainer. So it's really important that we're going to go ahead and pass that through. So in my case, it's mount tank stacks, but wherever you keep your stacks directory, just adjust this thing on the left of the colon and tell it where it is. Everything else keep the same. If you want to generate another production secret key, you can. That's fine. You're not going to need to worry about that. So that's what I had already set up on my Arcane instance, and now I have Arcane up and running. So if I come over here, you see here it's running on port 3000, and it's actually doing its thing. So let's go ahead and let's log in. Let's go to 1099.0.191, which is what the test server is on port 3000, just like that. And you can see I've got some stuff up and running already. Now, you're not going to see this when you log in the first time. There's a couple screens you have to go through that basically is just going to say, hey, you need to create a new password, and you need to make some changes to the system. When you're logging in, whatever you do not let it update. I have it set to automatically check my container images every like 5 minutes, or check my container uptime every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then there's going to be another switch box that says, do you want to allow to update? No, you don't. In case you get hit with the login, you'll see down here, hold on, I got to refresh this. You'll see down here that the logging in, when you navigate there, if you're looking for a default username and password, it's Arcane and Arcane admin. And I realize there's a typo here, which I'm going to fix, but that's what the default stuff is. But anyway, this is what it's going to look like after you just basically set a new password and log in for the first time. This is our dashboard. One of the first things you're going to notice is, one, this is beautiful, and two, it sees a lot of things already. So because in the Docker Compose, the var docker sock is passed in, it's already talking to the Docker system on this TrueNAS instance. So we can see here, it's actually pulling some information. So in this case, it recognizes in my TrueNAS that I have 19 containers set up. I have 55 Docker images. It's taking up about 58% of the hard drive space that I have in my virtual machine. And in terms of the hardware, this is what it is. It's basically 10 gigs of memory and 4 cores. I'm using almost no CPU, but I'm sucking up a ton of memory. So this is my TrueNAS stats for the actual TrueNAS server. And down here, we have some other options. We have the option to start all my containers, which I definitely don't want to hit, to stop, and to prune my system. I don't want to touch any of these buttons right now. Down here, we can see that we have some containers that are mostly exited and some images that are being used. That's fine. And that's it for the main dashboard. Let's go over to containers. So here's my container list, and I've already gone down here and I've changed the items per page to 100 to make this a little bit smoother. So we have 19 containers on this test instance of TrueNAS. 2 of them are running and 15 of them are stopped. So that's what's running right now. You can see Arcane is running. You can see Dockge is running. And that's basically it. Everything else is turned off. And I'll show you guys, for example, in Dockge, like you're used to seeing, everything here is pretty much stopped. So I have my RStack. I have a couple other things that I've done for other videos, but basically everything is just stopped right now. So let's come back out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys here how the compose works. Now this is really cool. Notice that before when I said we need to pass our stacks directory into the container, that's amazing because Arcane thinks that it manages these stacks. Now we know the R stack is not managed by Arcane. I made this in Dockge forever ago for another video, but here you'll see it's recognized as being managed. So I can go over here and I can hit edit, and you'll see here, this is the overview. Let me jump down to my services. There's 13 containers within that. I can jump to my configuration, and here's my Docker Compose file and my environment file, the media path, for example. This is everything. And I can jump down here to the logs, and there's no active logs right now because this is the containers are all stopped. And I can refresh that and see what happens. Nothing, everything's just stopped right now. So this is really interesting. It looks a little bit like Dockge, but it kind of reminds me of Portainer because it's got the ability to do images, networks, and volumes, something that is conspicuously absent from Dockge, which I wish it almost had. So from here, I can do a couple things. Let me scroll up all the way back to the top again. I have the ability to deploy the stack and start it right where it is, even though it was created in Dockge. I can quote-unquote redeploy it, which will pull new images, just pull new images, or delete the entire stack. So that's pretty amazing. Let's go back from other stacks here. Core monitor, Dozzle. There's a bunch of other things here running. So Arcane is running on TrueNAS, and so is Dockge. That's why the little IX prefix is here. Don't worry about clicking the import button. This is a very early software. This is version 0.15. These import buttons don't really work right now. So it's easier just to point this entire instance at where your stacks already are, which I did, and which is what the Docker Compose file shows. And this makes it think that Arcane can manage this. So it just works a lot better that way. Trust me. So we have a few other things in here. We have images, and this shows you the whole images list. We can prune the unused. We can pull. We can check for updates. My recommendation is you do not use this for updates. Use either Watchtower or update manually. That's the better way to go. Do not let this manage your updates yet. It's still too new for it. But I got to tell you, this project's got legs, and I really like where it's going. You can see here I have a ton of images. I just obviously do a lot of testing for my YouTube channel on this. Networks is here. Networks is pretty amazing. You can create a network from here, and you can look at, for example, the RStack network. This is what was created when we created all the stacks in the RStack, and you can see here this is what it is. The one thing that I wish this had that it doesn't yet is the fact it doesn't actually show me which containers exist in this network, and maybe that's because it's turned off. So I'll come back and test that in a minute. And of course, volumes here, these are the Docker volumes that exist, and you can see most of them are unused because just about everything is stopped right now. So just really interesting. I think it's a nice kind of hybrid between Dockge and Portainer in the fact that we get these 3 other things here, but we still get the ability to do some pretty easy compose projects. So let's go ahead and test that out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to the wiki, and I'm going to go ahead and grab MB, for example. So let's come back over here, and I'm just going to deploy MB really quickly. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to grab the Docker Compose file. I'm going to copy that into Arcane, and I'm going to do a new Compose project, and I'm going to create Compose. And again, this reminds me just very much of Dockge in this way. So they also have a cool little run command, so you can convert a Docker run to a Compose. That's pretty nifty. I'm going to call this MB. Okay, I'm going to highlight all this and paste here and just overwrite that. I'm going to have to come to my environment files and delete all that. So we empty out the environment config. We don't need it. I'm going to make a few quick changes here. I'm not going to pass to any NVIDIA device because I don't have one on this test machine, and I don't need either of these 2 things on this machine. So right now it's pointing at mount tank configs MB, and it's passing in the media folder. You guys will notice on this already on my data sets. When I go to my configs, I already have an empty MB folder. That's why it's only 96 kilobytes. That was made with apps presets. So that was already created, so you guys didn't have to watch me do that. You've seen me create data sets before using the apps preset. It's not complicated. So let's come back over here, and that's where it's going to be pointed to. So I'm going to go ahead and create this stack. Now, it doesn't actually do anything yet. It just basically created the compose.yaml. It's not launching or doing anything yet. It just created a compose file. So you can see here, it's not created, nothing's done yet, and there's no logs because nothing's going on. So what I have to do is I have to now deploy this. So I'm going to click deploy, and the only gripe I have is that started successfully because the image is already loaded onto this machine. When it's pulling an image, this just kind of hangs here for a minute. You can't tell that it's downloading images. So I want to see eventually, as this project continues to evolve, some indication of what's going on when I click the deploy button. But let's scroll down here, and we can refresh this little button here for our logs. You see here, these are our logs, which reminds me very much of Dockge. And I can see it, which is what I want. I want to be able to see all this stuff to make sure everything's going up okay. And everything looks like it launched okay. So let's come back over here to services, overview. Everything's looking really good. Another problem I noticed, like for example, exposed ports. This is great, 96. This is going to take me to my local host, 8096, instead of taking me to the actual IP of the container, or IP of the server. So that's another one of those little things that just needs to be edited. So let's come over here, and look, here's MB right there. It's up and running. And look at that. So it's here. So here's the cool part about this. Now we have another container running. 3 images are running. My container here, I can jump over and show you MB. And this is going to show me everything about MB right now. It's not really doing too much. It's taking about 156 megabytes of memory, no CPU. Let's jump down here to metrics. Not doing a whole lot. We have logs. We have our configuration. And this is going to tell you, again, a lot more about these things. What the internal versus external port mapping is. The networking and the labels that exist right now. Pretty nifty. And then the storage and mouse. So that's pretty cool. I think that's kind of amazing. So this is what's running. Now here's the magic. Here's what I want to show you about interoperability. You guys just saw that we created this on Arcane, and we knew that before it wasn't in Dockge, but now I come over to my Dockge, and I don't even have to refresh. I can just tell right now it's shown as a stack on Dockge, even though I didn't create it in Dockge. And Dockge can manage it. I can delete it, stop it, or edit it. I can do anything I want from here. So all the containers that I've already created in Dockge, I can now manage in Arcane fluidly without having to do anything. And anything I create in Arcane, controversially, could be managed in Dockge. So if I decide down the road, like, hey, I don't like the way Arcane is going, or I just don't like it, I can always go back to Dockge, or vice versa. If I don't like Dockge and I say, hey, Arcane is really looking like the future of Docker management, I don't have to worry about recreating my containers. I can use my existing stacks directory, which I've already been using for Dockge, and just using the compose file, point my stacks directory into Arcane, and Arcane just picks it up like nothing. And I can just pick it up right from here. So this is pretty incredible. Hey everybody, I had to actually come back and edit this video and add this little segment in, so please forgive the kind of rough cut here. Upon looking more deeply at Arcane, I've not only emailed the person running Arcane and building it by himself, by the way, which is pretty amazing, but I've done a lot more deep dive testing since I shot this video originally. One of the interesting things about Arcane is the way that it runs. So for example, we have our apps here, and you go to Arcane, you'll see that I have it running as 568. So right over here, you'll see I have a PUID and PGID of 568. So the reason for that, obviously, is because most of our apps run as 568, but not all of our apps run as 568. In fact, when I come over to my Dockge stack, there's some containers in the R stack, and maybe you're running other things, for example, like Tailscale or whatever it may have, that don't run as 568. That's fine. The issue that I'm finding with Arcane is when I pass the stacks directory that I'm already using for Dockge into Arcane, it overwrites recursively all of the permissions for the entire stacks directory as 568. I did not realize that when I first did the testing on this, because I was testing mainly in my test instance, which has the R stack, which just about everything is running as 568. So it's no problem when it comes to interoperability. When I went to go deploy Arcane on my actual production system, I've got quite a few Dockge containers that are not running as that use the ./. Now the ./ means all the information is stored within the stacks directory. So for example, on the R stack, you'll see here I have a mix of ./ like ./configs. And if I go all the way to the bottom, I have some host path stuff like mount tank config something. So everything in mount tank configs was safe because that's stored somewhere else. But anything that was ./, for example, like ./configs jellyfin, this got overridden as 568. I didn't notice that when I was going through it because it's running as 568 anyway, so there's no issue with the containers. But again, on my production machine, where I've got lots of Docker and Dockge containers running that are not 568, I went to go launch a few after I started Arcane up and then turned it down again, and I was seeing some breaking problems, and that was because my permissions were overwritten, and anything with the ./ that held all of its information in the stacks directory was not working. Luckily, I was able to quickly revert, but I wanted to put this in the video just so you know, because I just got finished talking about interoperability. My warning to you, if you're going to use this with Dockge, is that you make sure that you have all of your information, all your volume mounts as a host path somewhere outside of the stacks directory, which means you're using a slash. If you're using a // for anything, like / this right here for configs, that's going to be a problem. You are not going to want to run this container yet. I've already emailed the developer about this, and he's actually in the process of rebuilding a lot of Arcane, so he's going to work some of this into that to make sure that when you launch Arcane, you're not going to get recursive permission overrides for the entire directory that's passed in as the stacks directory. But I just want to set this warning right now for those watching this video. Do not launch this container if you have something in a / directory, meaning mounted inside the stacks directory, and it's not running as 568. You will break your permissions, and that's just a friendly warning. If you're not doing that, everything is host path, you're fine. It's no big deal. And if you're running like an RStack, for example, in Dockge, and everything's running as 568, you're also fine. It's not going to make any difference in the world. But just, I want to put that word of caution out so you guys know this. Do not launch this if you want the interoperability feature and you have something other than 568 permissions within your apps. A few other things here. Settings are general. Don't touch any of this stuff. The Docker settings are here. Again, you're not going to need to worry about a whole lot of that. Here's the auto update. Make sure this is continually switched off. This is what you're going to see when you have this set up. You have the option to switch this on and switch it off. Keep it switched off. My polling interval is at 10. I'm probably going to switch that to 5 and save that just to make it poll a little more frequently. You can create multiple users. You can have a lot of security in here for OIDC if you want to do that. That goes in the Docker Compose file if you guys are using Google or some kind of external provider. And then agents. This is really cool too. We, just like Dockge, have the ability to launch Arcane on multiple nodes, so multiple different servers, and then manage them all centrally from this one place. So that's pretty amazing. I haven't tested that yet because I'm actually so excited about this project. I wanted to record this video right now. It won't get released probably for another week or two, but by then I expect to see a little more functionality. There's a lot of movement in the Arcane GitHub. When we come all the way up here, you'll see here in the releases, they're doing a lot. They just did one 13 hours ago. They're on their 15th release already. So they're moving. There's a lot of activity here. So I'm really excited about this project because I'll be honest with you, this looks very, very pretty. It's definitely prettier than Dockge. It's more functional in some ways as I get the images, networks, and volumes tab that Portainer gives me. I don't think it's as functional as Portainer because Portainer is meant for an enterprise class environment. It even has paid features if you want to go that far. So that's a little bit too much in my opinion for a home lab. It's still pretty simple and still pretty straightforward. I love Portainer. I love Dockge, and I kind of love this. This is kind of like, wow, for coming out of nowhere and not even a 1.0 release. This is still technically in beta. Yeah, this is pretty slick. And the fact that most of what I do in containerization management is basically just making compose projects and editing them if I need to make any changes here. And I can come in here and I can go ahead and edit and down and redeploy and whatever. So let me down this right now. We'll stop it. And it's going to go ahead and stop MB, so I'm going to probably close that tab for MB. Come back over here to Dockge, and let's refresh this real fast. And you can see now MB is just inactive. And I can start it right from here if I want. I don't have to go back to Arcane. I can start it and see my logs, just like that. And now MB's up and running. So if I come over to 8096, here it is. And if I go back to Arcane, I'm going to come back to my dashboard, and you'll see 3 containers are now running. So when I go to my Compose projects, MB is now, well, hold on, let me refresh this. Refresh. That's interesting. So that's a little bit of a bug. It's shown now as down, but we know it is in fact. Oh, now there it goes. Now it shows running. So here it shows stopped, but up here it shows running. So again, it's still in beta a little bit. You can see a little bit of things are. See, and this just shows running. So this shows running here, but the dashboard is just a little bit out of sync. The containers are out of sync. Oh, no, now they just picked up. So maybe you just needed a second or two to poll. See, the Docker Compose project shows us down, but the container shows us up. So again, little things like that. This is a 0.15 release, so, take it with a grain of salt. But I still think that's amazing. This is the only time I've seen a container management system that plays nice with other container management systems. Dockge and Portainer do not do that. If I create something in Dockge, it's not available in Portainer, and vice versa, Portainer, Dockge, also in TrueNAS, the whole other way around. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. I think it's actually pretty cool. Come in here and play with it. I'm not so sure if I would use it as my only Docker container management yet, but as this project progresses and we get closer to 1.0, this might actually I might start using this instead of Dockge. I'll be honest with you. It's pretty nice. I kind of like it. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below in this video. If you really want to have a very in-depth conversation, please hit me up on Discord with that, because that's a better place to have a long-form conversation than just the comment board. Like and subscribe to this channel and video. And if you really want to thank me personally, please buy me a coffee.